This is huge. It's a lot of you. Wow. Look at how much ground there is.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Whoa, this is a double table. Double table.
Wow.
So I guess in the broadest, non-spoilerish way possible, can you tell us about what's going on with your respective characters this season and just that
Well, Daryl's a lot more complicated than he's let on to me. He's, he comes from a certain world. Merle's his big brother. What's that like? Think about what that's like growing up, having to fill those shoes. He's thrust into a situation with all these people that he may or may not like, but there's safety in numbers. Or maybe he likes it. The thing about Daryl, you'll find out that he's not a one-note guy. I can't really tell you anything. I can tell by all of your faces, nobody else can tell you. But yeah, he's interesting in a lot of different ways.
Well, last time we saw Andrea, she was a bereft suicidal woman who wanted to take her life. When we open up in season 2, Andrea's just a gal who's just trying to find her way. She's still really struggling with the death of her sister. But she's determined to be strong and not be a victim. And she's stuck in this world that she didn't want to stay in. She's going to do it on her terms. She's determined to survive. So she becomes very strong.
Really good.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
There's so many good zombie kills.
A lot.
I think that was one thing you guys wanted to do was up the ante on the coolness of zombie kills, right? I heard about that from day one, like we're gonna beat that, you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if have you had Greg and Frank through?
Yeah.
I mean, Greg had zombie makeups done months before we even started shooting, because there were discussions early on in the writers' room. Before the scripts were even completed, they were just concepts for the, we had sketches for the 13 episodes. They'd already come up with some really cool zombies.
My first kill was awesome on this one. It was so fun. It's the best job ever.
And I'm sure you've already heard that the actors all came into the writers' room. Yeah. So that I think has informed a lot of this season and how deep we're going in character with everybody.
Do you guys have any ideas for zombie kills? Like, I want to kill zombie this way.
Did you? I didn't, other than I wanted to keep killing them. But we went into the writers' room. The thing is, like, we become these characters so much that, bless the writers for doing this, that they didn't really tell you, we're doing this and what do you think about that? It was more like, so what do you two think about each other? Like, if you were in him and her and him were on this thing, what do you think would happen? Who do you look up to? Who do you just don't like? And where do you want to see your character most? They gave us this gift of hearing us out. We did the first season, and the characters had time off and went back in constantly thinking of it every day since, I think, it's a gift.
Yeah, it's been wonderful, and they've really found our voices. So, the scripts are so incredible this year, and I think you're going to be really knocked out by season 2. But every script that I pick up, you really hear the voices of the people, and they really tapped into all of these characters so beautifully.
And all the names of the writers. I just want to make sure we give them the credit they deserve. The whole writing team. Okay, so obviously Frank and Robert. Frank wrote the first episode. Robert wrote the second episode. The rest of the writing team is the head writer is Glenn Mazzara, who was on The Shield before, and then we have Evan Riley from Rescue Me. We have Scott Gimple. And we have Angela Kane, who was last on Terriers. And then David Leslie Johnson wrote a freelance script for us. So that's the writing.
And the writing is incredible. I mean, just every script that we get is just better and better and better. And wow.
You say that every day on this attitude. We're not just saying it to me. It's actually, wow, did you read this?
Storylines are you guys pumped up about for season 2?
I'll tell you that. That's such a like.
Yeah.
All of them.
All of them. Every single one. We can't tell you storylines.
I mean, obviously the fact that we're at Herschel's farm, and those of you who've read the comic book, you know, obviously we're not doing everything, but we're also doing some new things that aren't in the comic book, but it's great to have some new cast members. You saw the promo, you saw Scott Wilson who plays Herschel, and Lauren Cohen who plays Maggie. We have more family members as well. So that's nice. And the farmhouse, I don't know if you saw, there was a brief photo of it. It's just, I mean, it's like a character.
You couldn't build more nicely. When I read about the farmhouse, I pictured it something like that, and it was even better. It's amazing, and also the land around it is so cool. I mean, George is such a character on the show. You know, it's like you walk a certain way, you smell things a certain way, you hear things, the noises.
Bitten by bugs a certain way.
Ticks, obviously.
No joke.
Yes, it's I mean, sometimes things line up and sometimes things don't. But literally, we knew we were going to be in the country after we leave the CDC, and it turns out that at Raleigh Studios outside Atlanta, all of that was right there. I mean, the woods, the farmhouse, the ticks.
Can you talk a little bit about just balancing all the duties you have as a producer in this show with all of the feature film projects you also have? I mean,
It's really tough, and I don't think I get a day off because I try to be on set almost all the time. The last couple of weeks we've been shooting nights, which makes it really difficult, or splits. But there's such a commitment to this that I feel like I'm cheating when I'm not fully immersed in the show. So my staff back at Valhalla in LA gets very, but it's hard to leave.
I feel guilty if I read a book. I'm not kidding. I went to the bookstore, I bought 10 books, and I started reading, and I'm like, oh, this is bad. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be just looking at my script. I actually feel that's a little disturbing.
It is a far more intense relationship with everyone on the show, the cast and the crew, than it is on anything I've ever done in my 30 some odd years. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And the crew is the same way. I mean, it's not a job to them.
They're
They
so
are
invested.
100% committed to the storytelling, not just, we all feel a part of making this and making it right.
Everyone knows the character so well. Like I was saying earlier, there's certain department members that you look to as an actor. Like the actors can look at each other, talk to the director or anybody else, but there's certain crew members that are like, you look at and you sort of get the nod of approval from different ones in different departments for different things, and they know where Andrea's going, where Daryl's going, what they're thinking. It's a really well-oiled, nice.
And they really have our back. And to be honest, I mean, this show really tests the best of people. And our crew, they don't get time off. I mean, we have the odd scene off, or we can, step away to the shade. They work harder. They're there all the time with very little turnaround in that Georgia heat, and they are so invested, and their enthusiasm from the beginning is the same at the end of the day. And they read every script, they're invested in the characters, the story. I really think you would have to be in love with The Walking Dead to be able to work on The Walking Dead, because it requires so much.
It seems like a gift for all of us to be part of something like this. Everyone really enjoys being in it.
And if it's not like a little bit painful, like it's not worth it.
Right?
Right?
Bruised, You
Yeah.
guys have both been so incredibly bruised.
In the hospital.
Honestly, yet no complaints except when can I come back and be on set?
Because it's cool.
I
It's
have
like,
a knee brace on right now.
like seriously, like if you like are in a zombie attack or you do something and then you get like bruises and scrapes and a little bloody, and it's kind of like you earned your right. You know what I mean? Like it's a badge of honor. It's like, okay, I feel like I'm even more part of the Walking Dead now. You know what I mean? If you don't get knocked up a bit, then it's like
I don't think you meant knocked out.
I mean, knocked around.
Not that too. I was like, she's knocked out.
Whoa!
Yeah, is that a spoiler?
Knocked around.
What surreal moment have you guys had on set? I mean, you're the humans, and then there's all these zombies. So you turn the catering truck, and then there's a guy with his eyeball hanging out of his face, and you're like trying to get like a cup of coffee. I mean, it's surreal moments like that are just funny, or you can get scared by it. Like, oh, what's the
Rick and I just did a scene where we're searching, you could say that much. We're tracking things and looking at stuff. And while we're doing it, there was bugs coming out of the leaves. Like we're looking around and there's actual huge bugs, Atlanta, Georgia bugs coming out of the leaves. And we played it. And it was a nice moment to do something weird. It's cool.
I mean, there's a lot of surreal moments. I mean, there's funny moments because the zombies are really scary when you work with them. I mean, they're really almost like dancers because they've been trained. They all went to zombie school, and the way that they move, everything's so rhythmic and organic and disturbingly sad. How many of them portray it. So you're in a scene with them, and it's really intense and heartbreaking, and then it's cut, and then you see them put on their Ponch and John glasses and light up and get on their little Blackberries, and it's like, sometimes it's really funny. I've taken the odd picture, but
They get into it too.
I have to kill you if I should.
Everyone's into it.
But it's wild. The few times that we're out in public, we went shooting nights, and people in the community brought out blankets and lawn chairs, made popcorn, and watched like it was live theater.
And some of them drove far. When we were in Newton,
Oh, yes.
people drove from Orlando just to come to Newton that night to watch us shoot with their lawn chairs.
On his vacation. I mean, saved up his money, took his vacation so that he could come, hopefully, see something.
The stuff that
But he did.
He did, yeah.
And we all said hello.
Yeah.
with the helicopters that were in the news that were flying over us and we couldn't shoot because they're in helicopters. I went and got my driver's license in Georgia, and my motorcycle license on my driver's license had expired. And the lady goes, "I saw you on the news last night. Are you on The Walking Dead?" She's like, motorcycle section of my driver's license.
Nice.
So I should get revoked.
I know, right? Maybe don't.
Some of my favorite comic stories in Walking Dead are happen in the winter time. Is there any thought to take?
We actually going to be shooting in October and November this season. So we can't predict if it's going to snow. I know some of the iconic imagery is in the snow, but we
I don't normally see many zombie stories done in the winter time, so I think that would even create an even different set of circumstances.
we've been trying to figure out a way that we could get, if there's a third season, God willing, and the creek don't rise, as they say in the South, to get the writers' room started up earlier next year so that maybe we can be shooting in March or April, as opposed to a 99-degree heat and 100% humidity. So it would give us more flexibility. But the great thing is the cast will actually be able to put on some jackets.
I don't even know what that is. What's a
Right?
jacket?
A sleeveless jacket? Is that
I was wondering if,
I'm wondering if squirrels taste good cold.
off topic, we have a lot of fans of Boondock Saints on our site. Is there any talk of doing a third one?
Oh, I don't know. That's I have no idea. I have no clue. It took us 10 years to decide to throw it.
No more questions?
Gayle, if I may real quickly, I've seen your career all over the place. I've met you briefly at Sundance Film Festivals and the whole shop. I see your name all over the place. personally, I don't know how you do it. It's like you copied yourself all over.
As, you know, it's tough, but in this business, you feel like you've got to be, you know, kind of a fish. You've got to keep swimming. You can't stay in one place. So, you know, I'm trying to balance the feature work, comic books. You know, my first comic book has been coming out, The Scourge, through Aspen. We just set up a new one with the terrific comic book writer Greg Pak, who's done some of the best runs for Marvel, and that's for Aspen Comics. It's called Dead Man's Run. So they see me a lot on set on my iPad reading things, and that's what I'm doing. I'm reading stuff.
Avid soccer follower.
I'm a soccer fan.
And you're a right?
And a wrestler.
And yeah. What can I say?
She's kind of superwoman.
You are the every woman, and I tip my hat to you.
And she's a mom.
Yes, we killed my daughter last season. I don't know if you knew that. And she was in the finale. Yeah, she got a headshot.
As actors, how much ahead of time do you like to know the story, or do you like to just go at it an episode at a time?
I like to know as much as possible because I believe that you can never prepare too much. I like to just daydream and think and build biographies. So, you know, I'm very happy to get as many scripts in advance as possible. But it is series television, and you only get X amount at X amount of time, and you just roll with it.
I'm actually the opposite. I like to know a little, but I don't want to know too much. If there's something that happens in a feature film, happens at the end, I need to know, but I don't like to play it. I don't like to play it too early. And of course, I'm not in comic books, so
You can do whatever you want.
free.
Thank you guys.
Quick photo.